Hello, everybody. Thank you for being with us here tonight. Tonight's amazing class with the great Corey is going to be sponsored by X Insurance. And we have some great news for you. X Insurance has been working very closely with us to make sure they buy the convention and answering all questions they're going to be able to offer you some incredible insurance options for your events. So make sure that you come and see them at the convention. I have a lot of things to do today. At the end of the class, we are going to be raffling a tag metallic palette. This is for today's for anybody that registered to attend Fabatv. You should have your tickets, so make sure that you have them ready. At the end of the class, we're going to pick one. There's a lot of you here. We're also going to do another raffle from the Inspiration to Paint Forum. You know, for the first week, you had to paint the magazine logo, the Fabatv logo, and you guys were absolutely incredibly amazing. You just blew me away. And there were so many of you. Some of you are here twice. You put a picture, then you were in here. So we're going to do that also at the end of the class. Don't forget that we're doing a magazine, a 60-page magazine for the convention. If you go to the www.fabatv.com, you can buy a $10 directory so you can put your name and your contact information so people can find you, okay? And don't forget, we're 75% sold out. So make sure that if you're coming, that you will do that soon. So in a little while, we'll be right back, and I'll be back at the end of the class, okay? Thank you for coming here, and thank you, X Insurance, for sponsoring this class. Ready?
All right, we are live day after Valentine's Day. My name is Corey Morgan, and we are about to work on some new superhero designs for our live class tonight, Heroes Assemble. We're going to do a few designs. Hopefully, we want to get 4 of them in tonight. And as most of my designs go, it's stuff that you can do. We're going to make it look difficult, but you're going to see that it's real easy using just a couple of simple tricks that I use that you can use to make your superhero masks and designs go straight to the next level. It will help you to stand apart from everybody else when you're doing your work out there, whether it's at a party or at a festival or at a carnival. First design we're going to do tonight, we got Nick here, and we're going to work on our Captain America design. Real easy design. We're using Fab's Sapphire Shimmer, which is one of my favorite blues to use. It's a nice metallic blue, stands up really well, comes out great with the light. We're also going to use Star Blend's white as well as Wolf white and black paint. All right, so we're going to get right to work and see what we can get going here. Right now, I am using, to start off with, I'm using a smoothie blender. We're going to use our Fab Sapphire Shimmer paint and our smoothie blender, which is normally everybody's familiar with them being used for Star Blend's powders, but they can also be used with paint as well. The smoothie blender provides the flat of the smoothie blender provides the same type of surface as a sponge, allows you to cover more surface area, but you also have the handle, which also allows you greater control over what you're painting. So we're going to go ahead and just start off getting some of our outlines done, some of our work done here with the smoothie blender, and we'll switch to a sponge as well as we get further on. We're going to go ahead. I got the first part of his, the first part of the mask done under his eyes here. The good thing about doing a Captain America mask is that you're not getting any of the paint in the kid's eyes, because there's eye holes around his mask, and you don't have to worry about them blinking and opening his eyes and turning his head and messing your job up while you're Captain America's mask is a 3/4 mask, also goes over the mouth. Again, it's another mask that face painters like to use because you don't have to worry about getting it all over the child's mouth, and it's going to be messed up when they eat. That's also one of the reasons why I tell painters, when you're done with a design, take your picture right away, because it don't take any time for these kids to mess it up by either sweating through it, crying through it, or eating through it, and that's going to be the end of your design. And you want to come back and get that kid's picture later on, it's not going to work. You can see right here what I'm doing. I've pretty much fleshed out most of this mask using the smoothie blender. You can use a sponge, but right now I've just ran the whole thing with the smoothie blender, and I've left out space right here at the top where the star is going, where the A is going to be, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up my A stencil. This stencil here, I actually cut these myself. You can get these. You can, if you're interested in picking these up, it makes it easier than just actually having to paint them yourself. Use this and powder on your smoothie blender or whatever, or your sponge. It's kind of hard to get off because the cake is really solid and you can't get a whole lot on there. Get a plastic scouring pad. Do not get a. There's all kinds of bad news that's going to happen if you get one of those. Plastic scouring pad. Lightly scrape the surface of your powder. That's going to break. Going to cause a lot of your powder to be able to apply to your smoothie blender. I'm tapping the edge of the thing onto the table here, just so you have that dust that comes off, that extra, with our smoothie blender and our powder on top of Nick's forehead. And I've left a lot more space than I probably needed, which is fine, because all I need to do is just get a brush and run straight through it. As you can see, we've got our A here. I'm going to take a number 4 brush and get back with our blue paint, and then just continue right around, closer around A. And as you can see, there really isn't a whole lot of degree of difficulty when Captain America is a real easy design. It's a blue mask. It's got an A on it, and then we'll probably add some extra touches to it once we're all finished. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get my sponge out, and we're going to just go back over a couple of pieces of our design here. Got a sponge, going back using my sapphire shimmer blue, and we're just going to go ahead and pat some of this in here, just where it was. The smoothie blender had it kind of light. We're going to go ahead and just tap in some of this in. Turn your head a little bit. Excellent. That's just going to make that blue shine a bit more. And then I got another trick that we're going to do to just kind of give some extra shade. So pretty much got our mask down here, and we fleshed out some more of our blue, made that a little bit. And from here, I'm going to take a 3/4 inch flat brush, and I'm going to take a 1-stroke. This here is a 1-stroke cake with, it's got black, and it's got wolf black, wolf blue, and fab sapphire shimmer. And this here is one of my own design, but maybe if there's enough interest, go ahead and have the good folks here at Silly Farm put together this one as a special Corey Morgan split cake. It's 1 or 2. You're going to see the other one later on. We're going to run this down around the bottom of our Captain America mask. Putting our black on the bottom, we're going to go ahead and just run that down here. Just some degree of shading. Turn your head. We're going to do the same on this side. Our black on the bottom. Run that down the edge of the mask. I'm going to go ahead and reload my, we're going to reload our brush. And we're going to run this down again a little bit above it, around the cheek line, as it would come down toward the jawline. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and blend out some of that color, so it blends more closely into the blue of the. Not really seeing as much of the the end of where those colors stopped. I'm going to do that on the outside here, on this side, and then we're going to go ahead and turn his head. We're going to do the same on this side here. Again, we're following the cheekbone, because we're following the natural contours of Nick's face, so that that line doesn't appear to be off center or to not be where it should be. One of the things that you're going to learn as you're using designs that involve the actual contours of the face, and it's something that I'm learning myself. Learning the proper musculature of the face or whatever is going to help your designs look more realistic. It's going to make that mask look like it's really shaped over his face. It's also going to help when you're doing designs like the Hulk, which isn't a mask at all. He's not a mask. You're actually painting the confines of a larger head onto the person that you're painting it on, but you want to mimic the musculature and the skeletal structure at the same time. What I'm doing now, I've got number 4 brush and wolf white. And we're going to work on adding some highlights to where under the black lines here. I'm going to run that white line. Now the cool thing here, what I'm using here, it's a simple makeup applicator, not really a Q-tip, but this is a makeup applicator you can get in any drugstore. Costs you like $3.99 for a bag of 100. I'm using that, using the flat side, and we're just going to go ahead and blend out that white part. And that's just going to add a little bit of extra character to his to this design. We're going to go ahead and we're going to turn our head here, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to run our white paint down, and right there, and next to no time, we've added some some additional work that's going to make that mask stand out just that much more. Now, with that done, we're going to go ahead and work on some outlines to our design here. That's why I'm not as worried about the areas where the lines don't exactly match up. I've got the lines here kind of overlapping a little bit, which is fine. We're going to get our black outline going. Number 4 brush, wolf black. I want to give a really a good shout out to everybody who's tuned in tonight. I know that for a lot of y'all, there's a lot of things you could be doing. There are folks all over the world who are tuning in tonight, and I really appreciate it, because I know it is not 8 o'clock in the evening everywhere that this is being watched. I know that I have friends all over who are up at 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Muhammad Rashid, it was like 4 or something when he last contacted me, and he was waiting for this class to start. And I appreciate his mask, and we're going to do probably one of my favorite little additions to this mask, and we're going to finish it up. I'm going to use a smoothie blender, and I'm actually using a Paint Pal smoothie blender for this here, and my favorite stencil from Leah Selly's Ultimate Graffiti Eyes, the half-tone dot stencil. It's an excellent addition, especially when you're doing comic books type designs, because you can get that dot that dot that you have when you're that you see it in the old comic books. And using the the powder, as opposed to using the paint, will allow you to not worry about that spillage effect that you'll get if you've put too much paint on that sponge and you get that bleed out thing. I know that has happened to a few of you. Don't raise your hand because it's a live class and you're at home, so nobody's going to see it or whatever. But I mean, obviously, it's happened. It's happened to me. I don't know about y'all, but it's happened to me, and I'm gonna admit it. But using the powders with this solves so much of that problem. Allows you to get that stencil effect in without the worries of actually putting too much paint on, on your client's face and throwing your design off. I'm putting a little bit on the outside here, just adding some shading, and then just using that stencil to go ahead and add that extra effect. So, with that done, that's our Captain America mask. We did that in less than 15 minutes. Talk to me. This looks good. I don't say that about my stuff too often. That's your Captain America mask. Good work. All right. And moving right along because we're on the clock. I got Jonathan here. He's going to be the Flash. You can keep on his shirt. He's going to be the Flash. We're going to do it. We're going to get up here, man. Come on. We in there?
Yeah.
All right.
No.
No.
Yeah.
You're going to be the one way. I got to sit you on the floor and roll this camera. We're going to do this Flash. All right. We good?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. Man, dude, brother got his hair done and everything. I was almost ashamed to even paint this because boy is looking good. He's already straight. He's ready. All right. Flash. Fastest man alive. We're going to go ahead and get this and put some work in here. We're going to go back. Start like I did with our smoothie blender. And you can use a brush. And in fact, I will start half of this design with the brush, and just to show that's, you don't have to go out and get smoothie blenders. I'm not saying you can't use a brush. Right now, I got an American Painter number 10 brush. It's a nice thick brush. I'm not as much worried about getting fine line here because again, I'm going to use my outlines when it gets time to finish it up. We're going to start here at his nose and work on the outlines of the mask. Flash's mask is a slightly different design. One just goes straight down from his nose. It actually goes up a little bit and then comes down. I don't know why. That's just the way they did mask back in the day. And so that's how we're going to do it. I've got that half done. We're going to go around the outside of his eyes. And again, these are designs that are real easy to do. These are, there's really nothing. There's really, no. And stop the design once you've put down the flat colors. You don't have to do the extra, the extra bells and whistles with the, with the extra shading and the highlighting. It's stuff that I like to do if I have additional time. But if you're at a festival and you're getting paid by the hour and you've got a lot of kids sitting in line, then maybe you're not going to put in all that extra shading and stuff. You're going to go with that flat colors and then just run with it. All right, and I've got our paint here. What I'm going to do, now that I've got, I've used a brush. I didn't use the smoothie blender for this here. Now that I've gotten most of that done, I'm going to hit the corners with this brush, and then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get a sponge. Got a regular yellow sponge. I've got my red. Both red. You can also use Fab. This is Rage number 128 by Fab red. Using that, and it's the same. It's the same consistency, same color. You're not really going to see much of a difference as to whether one is better than the other or not. I know a lot of folks ask, what brand of red do you use? In cases, most of these brands are going to give you the same result. So it's just really a lot of it comes down to the, not so much the paint, but the painter. You're using a sponge, using enough to cover the cover the subject, it's going to come through. And it doesn't matter really to me as far as the skin complexion. I had a lot of folks ask, what red do you use for African American or dark skinned children? And honestly, I use the same colors for everybody. I've not had an instance where there's a certain red that works on light skin tones and some that work on dark skin tones. It's going to generally work for everybody. It's just a matter of how well you're laying your sponge or your brush. Outside of that, of course, going to be issues of what colors show up well, what combinations show up well on certain tones, and that's an entirely different story. Now, flash, I'm going to do something that it's an optional thing. I've got another stencil here. Got the flash symbol. Again, saves trouble for having to paint this thing yourself. I've seen a lot of people get that lightning bolt wrong or get it backwards or whatever. This will help you out. Again, if you want to get a hold of one of these, send me a private message on Facebook. Send me an email at gnagus@verizon.net. We're going to put this with yellow. Okay? I do not have my yellow star blends on me, so I'm going to use my yellow paint. All right, I'm still working.
Say something.
At Verizon.net, correct. And
Check.
Lady Death and Wonder Woman and some other little ladies.
somebody asked.
Check. See it. Can't hear it.
Nothing.